How's it going, NPC Nation? Welcome back to a brand new video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about who's going to make the Stanley Cup playoffs. Well, I'm new to hockey. My team is the Utah Mammoth, and this is my first full season of hockey. I started watching hockey of October last year. I was never really big into it because when I was a kid, I was never big into it. I'm still not really big into it. I think hockey has grown on me recently, and I'm going to be talking about who's going to make the playoffs. Well, I don't know a lot about the playoffs of the Stanley Cup playoffs or NHL playoffs or anything like that. With baseball season starting and the baseball classic just ended, I'm not a big baseball fan, so I don't really have a winter sport. I do like basketball. I try to keep up with that. I do like the Phoenix Suns on that side. But my only really sport in the winter is football. I don't have a summer sport really. Or a spring sport. So since hockey goes so long into the spring, begins in the winter, it begins in the middle of fall, goes into the spring. Here's how baseball starts in the spring, goes into the fall. So if you're a baseball fan, I might start watching baseball. I just don't know what teams would be good to pick. But I am a hockey fan. I started liking hockey last year, and I'm getting into it. I track it, just like football. And, I'm not a fan of, Wisconsin teams, and, NPC, your team is the Green Bay Packers for the NFL. Why aren't you because I like history, and Mammoth is a real animal in history. So, who's going to make the playoffs? Well, top 3 teams of each division get a playoff spot. So the 12 teams are already decided. Whoever the top 3, which I think, football has the same amount of teams but less games. I think that the top 2 teams of each division should get a playoff spot. If there's 14 teams, there's 16 teams in the NHL playoffs, and I looked it up how it works. Basically, top 3 teams of each division. So the Avalanche, the Wild, the Dallas Stars will make the playoffs, and the Utah Mammoth has the last wild card spot in their division. And they're in their conference, one of the last wild card spots. So 12 out of the 16 teams are decided. That leaves 4 teams not decided. So there's 4 wild card spots left. And the Mammoth has the last one right now. If they keep up, they could get 3rd place and just get a spot automatically and not be in the wild card. So they would not get first seed, but they would get a spot automatically because they're in 3rd place. They could do that. They just have to beat the Dallas Stars, which they just beat the Dallas Stars on their last game on Monday, which is good. Who I think is going to win the Stanley Cup though is probably going to be the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche right now or Seattle would do it in hockey, and then they also did it in the football. Right now, the Avalanche is so good. They have not really lost barely any games, and I think they might win the Stanley Cup this year just from their points, their goal. They're a team that can score multiple goals, big, almost double-digit goals. They're a fast team. They're a young team. I think the Avalanche could make it, but I'm going to root for the Mammoth, obviously, if we still make the playoffs. They're in the wild card, which is harder to come from than a bye week. I don't know how the Stanley Cup works. Like I said in this video, beginning of this video, I'm a new hockey fan. I'm not a die-hard hockey fan. I want to become a Mammoth fan. I'm going to try and, start watching more Mammoth games. I listen to them or I track them, on Google. And I try to keep them, like, I try to keep doing research on them. I'm not a die-hard hockey fan, but I'm trying to become a hockey fan. And I'm going to watch the Stanley Cup. Even if the Mammoths lose, I'll still watch the playoffs just to see what it's different than the regular season. But the playoffs are about to start in the end of April. We're going to get playoffs in June. The playoffs will go into the summer. But we'll start the playoffs in May and June. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, press the share button, press the like button, press the red shiny subscribe button, press the bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. And I'll see you guys next video. Goodbye.